Hello, this is Nano from dBeautySalon in the UK, in Canterbury. I'm gonna show you a little bit what we've made here with this beautiful controllers that all my Bytes have built. The first thing I'm gonna show you is that we are working on Reaper. This is like my pre-session, so to call it. And what we do is we use relearn or relearn. We have some presets made for this thing to communicate with the plugins themselves, with Pro Q2 and Pro C2 and Pro L. The plan is to develop their own VST, the guys from All My Bytes, and it will be possible to do all these in any other DAW or DAW. The way it's done is, well, it's really like an advanced learn kind of MIDI thing. The more technical stuff you'll have to ask Alvaro, because I don't really know it, but it's done through mapping and you just learn source and target, and yeah, you can edit it. Anyway, the panels themselves, this one, blue, is the one that I use for Pro Q. Is design-wise inspired in a couple of hardware equalizers that I really like. Anyway, it has two filters, high pass and low pass, and 5 bands. Each band has a mute control. It actually just, well, mutes or unmutes the band you're working in. They are by default set to stereo, but you can use middle or side. That's how I use it, because I use it for mastering. That's my main thing. The only controls that are not bands or frequency or things like that are a gain controller and the bypass. I'll show you more with the plugin itself. It's really simple. You have a gain control, Q control, and frequency control. All the pots are push, not push-pull, just push. Once you push them, you can control a different parameter. The way it's done with this one right now is in the stereo band. You can just control the gain. With the Q, if you push it, you can control the slope, and if you don't push it, obviously the Q. The gain, the way I have it set it up, is only for mastering, so I only have it from -6 to +6, because I don't really use anything else. And the push control of the frequency, well, the frequency is the frequency. There's nothing you can really do like that. Inside relearn, we have it set to like a precise step. Like it's not really, you cannot go all the way because you need it to be more precise, so it goes from one frequency to another. The idea was to use the push function in the frequency to allow us to solo. It would be cool to have an auto solo, something like that, like some other German company has in one of their equalizers. But well, that's it. Now the stereo band is selected. We could select the middle band and work it like that. Again, the Q, the slope. You can move the frequency. Again, the same with side. Like that. Make really, really precise notches. And the same with the filters. It's now in stereo. The side one goes farther. This has nothing to do with the controller, it's just how we set it up in relearn, and it's like that so I can control the all the rubbish that gets stuck in the like behind all those frequencies. The same with the middle, the gain, the Q in this case. That somehow can also work as a gain parameter. And that's it really. The only thing, well, the bypass would bypass everything, and the only thing that I have changed is that in the gain controller, if we push, we would use the, let me open that so you can see it. If you push, you would use the pan function. I actually only use it to check what's where, what kind of information I have in the middle, what kind of information I have on the side, and what I need to cut or boost. And the only thing that I have changed from the original design is the gain control. The gain control is not using the gain parameter because I've discovered that the auto gain is just fantastic. So what I use with this is the gain scale. So I can make whatever equalization I decided to make really subtle or drastic. And that's basically it for Pro Q. It's really handy to have all the hands-on feeling without having all the problems that you have with hardware. And I'm really happy with it because I can actually work with even if I wanted to, I could work with the screens off, and I love that. Moving on to Pro C. More or less the same principle. Controller, again, some lookalike of things that I like and hardware, and well, it's threshold, ratio, knee, style, attack, release, oversampling, all more or less the same controls you would find here. You have them, like, again, hands-on feel that I really wanted to have. But anyway, is the same. You can control the threshold, ratio, the style, which is very, very useful depending on what you're working on. The knee, the same. Attack, release. You can decide to have auto release and just decide how much of that auto release you're going to be using. Gain, again, if you push, you control the pan, which is really useful when you're using sidechain because you can compensate. Dry. In case I ever wanted to do a parallel compression, I honestly prefer to use the mix here, that I do it with the mouse because I don't have it assigned to one of these controllers, but I could to the dry, for example. The same goes with the dry knob. If you push, becomes a pan control. Oversampling, you can control it with this, and then you can activate the sidechain here. You can audition what you're working on. Stereo link, if you push, you control the type of stereo link that is happening. Sidechain level, I never touch it, so there is no control for that. Can engage the filters. If you push, you control the slope. Mid frequency, if you push, you control the gain. And the same kind of behavior with the filter. If you push, you control the slope. And bypass, which obviously bypasses the plugin. Anyway, the last one would be Pro L, which shares the controller, is this part of the controller. I'm very straightforward with the Pro L because it's fantastic. There's nothing really to do. Everything with True Peak and all that I managed to control it with preset look ahead of 0.5 milliseconds. You can control the gain here. It's a pity that I haven't managed to do the trick like if you press Alt, you can have the output gain at the same level to have a one-to-one monitoring. I haven't managed to do that. It doesn't work with the controller. I don't know if we're doing something wrong or if it's Reaper or your plugin, but well, it doesn't work. Gain, style, I basically only use either the dynamic or the transparent. I don't need anything else. Look ahead, I tend not to touch it because, as I said, I leave it at 0.5. That's the value in which there is no distortion whatsoever, and I love it. Attack, release, again, same principle. Channel linking, transients, I tend not to link the transients at all and use the release to check what kind of linking I prefer. Then we have the oversampling, which is fantastic because it's when you start to really get the true peak, if you want to call it that. And the output, which goes only at about roughly -1 dB, because I don't really think I'm ever going to use less than that. And well, the bypass as well. The funny thing is that these are intended to be used with Pro Q2 and Pro C2 and Pro L, but I've also made some setups to use them with Pro G. As you can see, I can, well, select several controls from Pro G as well. I use it for transients. This is a track, you can see it here. I have it, I call it transients. I have Pro G and Saturn on it. Saturn is controlled by the Pro L section of the controller. The drive, I control it with the gain. Style is actually the style. With the look ahead, I actually control the dynamics, if you want it more or less compressed. Attack, from this thing I saw a video talking about how to get transients working, is fantastic. Fantastic, I love it. I made myself a preset with this. Oversampling, I don't use it. This, I don't think I use it, no. And then the output, which is actually the mix level. And that's it, really. Thank you, and well, bye bye.